That was the one and only All for One with Down to the Last Drop from their debut album all the way back in 1994. You're listening to Saturday Slow Jams. I'm Chorus Nylander. This is Urban Soul Radio. We have a great show lined up for you today with nonstop smooth romantic R&B and an exclusive interview with the Saxations, an amazing all-female saxophone quartet based down in San Diego. They're here right now. Let's hear a song from them. Here's Mama Knows. Right now on Saturday Slow Jams. That was Mama Knows by the one and only the Saxations. You're listening to Saturday Slow Jams. I'm Chorus Nylander, taking you up till 2:30. I'm so lucky right now. All the Saxy ladies from the Saxations are right here live in the studio. How are you ladies doing this afternoon?
Great.
Good. Really good. Thanks.
Thank you so much for driving up all the way over here. I know you guys are based down in San Diego, am I right?
That's correct. Yep.
America's most beautiful city. Definitely is. How's the jazz market down there for instrumental music like yours?
It's really good. There's some really great venues, 98 Bottles. Sadly, Anthology closed, which was a great spot.
Yeah, that's very sad loss
yeah,
down there.
But
I know
Disease is still going strong, and Gilbert Castellanos does a lot for the scene, and there's still a lot going on.
He's definitely one of the better-known San Diego jazz artists down there.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are doing very well, though. You are actually about to release your self-titled debut album. Tell us about that project.
Yeah, we're just trying to go through and record some of our favorite charts. And we've got arrangements by David Mann and by Rick Hirsch. And we're really fortunate to be working with Paul Brown to do the mixing and mastering.
He's awesome. He's one of the best to work with.
Yeah, so these are just some of our favorite charts that we've been playing over the past year and a half or so.
And what kind of music can we expect from this album? Is it all smooth jazz, pop-based? Describe what the sound is of the album.
Well, it's primarily smooth jazz. I call it pop instrumental. I think it would fit in that.
That's what I call it, too. I think it's a good term.
Yeah. It's obviously all featuring the saxophones and in a quartet style, but it's not your typical grandma's quartet, definitely, because we have a really great rhythm section that's backing us up. So I would definitely call it more the smooth jazz genre. Sure.
And how do you feel? A lot of people seem to think that jazz is a more masculine, male-dominated industry, but there's people like Candy Dolfer and Mindy Ibarra. Now you got. How do you feel? What is it like being a female artist in the jazz industry?
Well, we definitely look up to those women role models. We think that's really fantastic that there are women out there who are, leaders in the industry, and that's what we're striving to do as well, trying to, put our stamp on it. And I think on the day-to-day, it's not really something that we worry about or concern ourselves with. We just try to be the best musicians that we can be.
And whose idea was it to form an all-female saxophone quartet?
Leilani.
Yeah.
That was a great idea, Leilani. Did it just come to you one day where you're just sitting in your car and go, all-female saxophone quartet?
No. In fact, you probably can relate to this course because I was at the Warren Hill Sax Summit last year, and that's where I met you.
Yeah, that was a great event.
I remember seeing this tall guy out too.
Call me out for being tall.
Well, what happened was when I was sitting there, and maybe you were in the room too, we had all these different speakers, and one of the speakers was up there talking about marketing and how to market your group. And when he was talking about setting yourself apart and being different, and I thought about that, and I sat there, and coming from a business background, I understand that language. And so when I was sitting there thinking about it, I go, you know what, I really need to get this female sax quartet off the ground, because I was actually in a quartet with 3 other guys, and it was absolutely going nowhere. And we were playing some really great tunes and everything, but it just wasn't taking off like this idea. So when I came back to San Diego, I started really putting it in motion and making it happen, and that's really where it came out. So I really have a lot of gratitude towards Warren Hill for having that Sax Summit, and also Michael Broughton, who is his manager. And he was one of the speakers that really inspired me to take this on and do something like that.
Was the other speaker with the business talk, was that Vernon Babry?
Yes.
Vernon Babry, amazing artist. That was a great event with lots of
really was.
information. But it really shows what kind of person you are to sit and listen to information thrown at you and so many other people, and to show that you actually took that information and did something with it.
Well, it's funny because after thinking about this, and I met with Michael Broughton probably weeks later and explained to him, going, I really took what you said to heart. He was pretty shocked, going, really? You took my advice? So he was so open and really great about shooting me in the right direction to what I needed to do, how I needed to improve things or change things. he was really instrumental in that too.
And I really love Michael Broad. You know,
Yeah.
it's just I can see why Warren Hills has so much success with someone like with so much character and integrity like Michael Broad has
Yes.
behind him. He's always there to help. And so, have you heard a lot of positive feedback about this group? Have you had anyone say, "Wow, I love you guys. I love hearing your music and going to your shows"?
Absolutely. Yeah, it really has taken off, and it's just amazing the amount of support we get, really.
It's overwhelming, actually. I don't think any of us expected it.
No, not
Definitely
at all.
not.
Not at all.
Yeah. And to see the response on Facebook, even
It's
or
amazing.
even the first show we did, it was just at Kaminsky's in Poway, which is a really great restaurant there. But the place was filled to capacity, and there was people outside that couldn't even get in. So we were really shocked to see that. And the shows that we do, the big shows, are actually sold out. So it's a really great support that we get from San Diego. So it's a good sign to see that.
And you definitely are well liked, because when I posted this on Facebook that you were going to be here with the interview, I think I got more likes than just about any other guests I've had on here. And I've had lots of big name guests. So
Awesome.
you're obviously very relevant right now.
That's very
People
cool.
keeping track of what you're doing. People are sharing the interview all over their Facebook pages. Really, I could tell
Wow.
people like you out there.
We really appreciate the support.
Yeah.
Our
Yes,
fans have been
yes.
so
Thank you.
great.
And so how long on this debut album, when did you guys decide, did you decide when you first started that what you wanted to do was create an album?
Not at all.
No.
I think because we had such really great arrangement by these guys, we needed to record them and put them on record. And we had a really great person that was instrumental in helping us. His name is Gerard Nolan. He's actually our saxophone teacher for three of the four of us. And he's also a producer, and he suggested that we at least put something together so we have a demo. And it really just started out to be something that we can hand venues to get into venues. And as we worked on this project, it just grew and grew, and the people that started getting involved were pretty high-powered people too. So, like, for example, Paul Brown, he came in at the end to master everything. But for example, like Dwight Sills, who plays guitar
He's awesome.
He's amazing. So he was instrumental also in playing for us. So here we had this really great rhythm section backing us up. So we just kept going further and further as far as recording more tunes and putting it together. And when I heard the first track a few weeks ago, actually mastered and everything, or mixed, it was just amazing to hear how everything came together, and it just sounds so wonderful.
And where did all you ladies meet? Did you guys know each other before you started the group, or did you just happen to run into each other?
We did not know each other before, actually. Leilani came to a show that I was playing in a big band, the Moonlight Serenade Orchestra, and heard me for the first time there. I think you had added me on Facebook, and we had chatted a little bit.
Right, and the way we did that was David Hayes, who is a representative for Sax Dakota. He and I are friends, and we were talking, and I told him about my idea. He was at the Sax Summit too, and I said, I really want to find some ladies. Maybe you can help me network through your system and refer me to some. And then he referred me to you, Allison. And so I connected with Allison right away. She was just very excited about it. I'm like, wow, this is really cool, and she was so nice. So I went down to hear her, and that's also Michelle was there the same day too. So I was able to meet both of them. So and then Smoka came on later on. She was a friend of Michelle's. So just
Yeah,
really
that was an
jived
amazing
really well.
connection too.
Yeah.
Total.
Yes, we're so lucky to
The
have
universe
someone.
was working with me that day.
Did you go through any lineup changes, or was this the original lineup you first came up with?
We've had a couple of different changes. Leilani and I started with the original group, and we've had two other girls who are our Saxations alumni who are very grateful that they were a part of the group, but it just wasn't working out. So we've settled with the four of us, and it seems to be working.
Well, you guys are a great group, most definitely. And you mentioned Dakota Saxones. You're now actually endorsers of that product, right?
Yes.
We are. Mm-hmm.
How did that happen? What's that like for people out there that don't really know what being an endorser of a product is? What does that entail?
Well, we all play on our Sax Dakota horns at our concerts, and we just support the product and feel that it's the best to play on.
And Pete LaPlaca, who is the president of Sax Dakota, has been really helpful with us too, and very supportive with making sure that we're on the right instrument and that we're representing their company well too. So he's been really great at promoting us too.
Yeah, we were privileged enough to play at their booth at NAMM this past January in Anaheim. So that was really fun.
That's a big show,
Yeah.
like international.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really thrilling to be up there with their other artists and get to take part in that.
As well as Jody too. With
Yes.
Jody
Yes,
Jazz
absolutely,
mouthpieces too. So all of us play on a Jody Jazz.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's switching to those now.
They're fantastic.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, yeah.
Sorry for everyone out there for getting all saxophone nerdy, but it's got its own language.
Yeah.
But they're definitely great horns because you ladies sound so amazing together. I want to hear another one of your songs. And I think the title fits so well with the way you marketed the group. Being an all-female quartet, here's Every Woman right now on Saturday Slow Jams with me, Chorus Nylander. That was Every Woman by the Saxations. That was mastered by the legendary Paul Brown. I'm so lucky right now. They're sitting live in the studio here on Saturday Slow Jams. I'm Chorus Nylander. All the ladies of the Saxations. We have Leilani, Allison, Michelle, and Tomoka. They're all amazing saxophone players. That song is amazing. Tell us about that song we just heard.
Well, that's one of our favorites. We kind of have a few signature songs that we kind of gravitate towards. And obviously being an all-girl quartet, we're pretty pro-women, so I'm Every Woman is kind of an anthem for us. And it's just really fun. We love the arrangements that were done for us and really like that they're high energy, and having our killer rhythm section just really helps build our energy. And yeah, it's really fun.
And I really think that song works well on an album where your marketing is kind of being all female in a song Every Woman. I like how you did that.
Definitely.
So I want to go around now to each one of you. We'll start with Leilani, and you kind of tell us maybe a little bit about you, where you grew up, how the saxophone fell into your hands. Let's start with you, Leilani.
Okay, well, I come from a very musical family. My parents are still musicians today, and they still go out there and gig. I was part of their band as a child called Camvadale and the Blue Notes, and we played professionally all over San Diego County for weddings and clubs and all sorts of things. So not only myself, but my two sisters, too, were part of the band. So basically, my dad started me on piano, and then he moved me over to flute, and then I gravitated over to saxophone when he needed saxophone in his band. And I think I was about 11 when I started gigging professionally, and all throughout my high school career, basically, I was playing gigs every weekend professionally with them. I put down my horn when I left for chiropractic school and didn't really do much of it when I was up here in Long Beach. And then a couple years ago, I picked it back up again and started playing. So.
And you're actually a doctor,
yes,
too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have to call you Dr. Leilani now. I'm sorry
yes,
about that.
Could you?
I mean, it took long enough to earn it. You need to be
gosh.
called.
Okay.
And it was actually, I know it's probably very hard to talk about, but you actually went through a serious health issue when you were young that kind of led to your musical route, I would say.
Right. At age 7, I went under open heart surgery. I had this hole in my heart when I was born, and so I had a surgery when I was about 4 months old or so, and then again when I was 7. If I didn't have the surgery, I think it would have been like done for me at about age 10, so it was necessary. But one of the things that really helped, too, was after that surgery, they had me do a lot of lung exercises for breathing, because that's what needed to happen to get my lungs back to where they needed to be. And so I think that really helped when I picked up the flute, because my breathing, my lungs were so strong after that. And so that really helped to get into playing the flute.
Well, I'm so sorry about that, but it really is inspiring probably to many other people out there that you went through that, and here you are releasing an album.
Yeah.
There's actually, I think there was a very similar story with the legendary saxophonist David Sanborn. He actually had polio and then had an iron lung, and they told him to pick up a wind instrument to help with his breathing, and he's one of the most famous saxophones ever.
That's right. That's true.
So then we'll go next to Allison. Tell us about you and how you got to the saxophone.
Yeah, I grew up in Northern California near Sacramento from a town called Rocklin, and I started playing piano when I was really young, and then in 5th grade picked up clarinet and switched to saxophone within about 9 months of that, and it has totally stuck. So I played all through junior high and high school. I came down to San Diego for school at UC San Diego, and I was originally studying biology there, and it just was not a good fit, and I was missing music. So I switched to music and got my degree in music and studied jazz there. And since I graduated, I've been working at a music publishing company. So my day job is also in music, which is really fun.
So music, you would say, is probably a big part of your life.
It's a huge part. Yeah, it's definitely my greatest passion. And music education in particular, I'm really passionate about that.
So would this upcoming album be your first album?
Yes.
Are you excited?
Very excited.
Well, thank you so much. And now, Michelle?
Hey, well, I was actually born in Providence, Rhode Island, in the blizzard of, well, now I'm going to date myself, 1978, drove my family to California. So I started very young playing, as Allison did, playing piano. And just like Allison, I got into band, and I was playing clarinet. And by the time I got into high school, I had to be in every musical thing. I had to be in all the choruses. I had to be in all the bands. So they needed, I wanted to be in jazz band, and they told me the only way I could be in jazz band is if I played saxophone. So I picked up the alto saxophone, and, it just came very naturally. And then I went to college for a while at Berklee College of Music in Boston, and then when I came home, I did stop playing for a while because I was doing automotive work and teaching fitness classes, and thankfully I got back into music again, and I'm very, very happy. I felt like there was a void, and no matter what happened, I always kept my saxophones, even in that time when I wasn't playing, and now, wow, I'm really glad I did.
Well, that's probably why you guys sound so well together, because you seem like you come from very similar kind of experiences.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you haven't seen any blizzards in San Diego yet, though.
No, just a hailstorm that happened the other day. That was a little weird.
Yeah, that was a crazy day. There was hail coming everywhere. It was like... Thank you so much. Tomoka?
Yes. I'm born in Gifu, Japan, and I took piano lessons starting age of 6, and I came to the United States when I was 17, and I didn't speak much English, so I'm looking around what I can take. So I gravitate toward some art and the music, so I don't have to speak English. And pretty much that was my first saxophone lesson there. And then I went on to college, and I got master's in saxophone performance. I was a lead alto player in a jazz band for 4 years, and then shortly after, the friend of mine, Brian, asked me to be in this band called Tailor Made Jazz, which work under Armed Forces Entertainment for Department of Defense. So I travel all over the world, over 40 countries, for about duration of 10 years, playing for troops and U.S. embassies overseas. And my husband, that was in Buffalo, New York, and then my husband got a job at the Cal State Long Beach as Director of Jazz Studies, and that's put me back in Long Beach back in 2005. And they're playing a bunch of bands, R&B bands, show band, top 40 bands around here, but I met Michelle at the NAMM show, and that's how I got into this group.
And then here you are releasing an album. Sorry, you must be very excited you joined the group then.
Yes,
It's doing so well.
It's been great. I'm enjoying it so much, and it's a long drive for me, but I do enjoy playing with these girls, and I don't regret anything. It's great.
And you guys sound so great together.
Thank you.
And your husband's actually an amazing musician, as you said. He's over at Cal State Long Beach. Jeff Jarvis, he's pretty well known. How'd you meet him?
Well, when I was in college, I was playing in a salsa band in Buffalo, New York, and one of the trumpet players couldn't make it, so he was a sub, and that's why I met him, but we didn't start dating until like 10 years later.
And so who would you say as a group has been your biggest supporters with your music?
Well, we have a lot of fans in San Diego that, come to all our shows and have been supportive that way.
I would say also like Peter LaPlaca from Dakota, Sax Dakota, has been
Absolutely.
very supportive. Brian Simpson, piano player.
He's amazing.
He's amazing. He's been such a great instrument of just helping us just to be in the right direction too, with hooking us up with some writers and things like that. So I think that's really been helpful. Our fans are just totally awesome. They seem so loyal to us on Facebook and things. We just really are overwhelmed and really appreciate that.
Definitely are. I mean, it was crazy when I posted that you were coming here. It was just like after like after like, share after share. It's like, oh my God, this is going viral.
That's great.
And so, what well-known music artists might have influenced you being musicians? People like Mindy Bear, Candy Dolfer.
Absolutely. I'm kind of all over the board in what I listen to. I mean, I listen to everything pop, country, R&B, jazz, just anything I can get my hands on. I feel like I'm always trying to listen to something new and see what else is out there. So I think just staying thirsty for new things, and obviously we all have our favorites. I'm a huge Sonny Rollins and Sonny Stitt fan, and
I'm a huge Boney James fan.
Oh, me too.
I love his sound.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I'm a huge James Carter fan. I'm actually really good friends with one of my favorite baritone saxophone players from New York, B.J. Jansen.
Oh,
He
cool.
put out a
Shout out
awesome,
to him.
yeah.
Yeah.
awesome album. He's been very supportive too. I mean, really just amazing.
Oh, and I started listening to Charlie Parker and Coltrane when I was taking lessons because my teacher made me play the harmony book, one song a week, and I had to be pretty accurate or he'd be pretty mad. So.
Well, that must have been difficult. I know that's can be very difficult.
Very hard, but it helped me out a lot because the bebop, once you learn the bebop, it feels like all the other music feels a lot easier to me. And I don't know, it's helped me so much after learning all those licks and lines.
So that's a secret, huh, Tomoka?
We're going home to learn that.
I wish I would have started that a while ago.
Yeah, right.
Have you guys gotten a chance to perform or meet and collaborate with any of your favorite artists?
As a matter of fact, because of the NAMM show, I'm very grateful for that. I had been there in the past, but not at this capacity. And I got to hang out with James Carter.
Wow.
How cool is that? And BJ, I had hung out with him before. So, now we're kind of buddies. So that was just cool. I got to hang out with two of my favorite players, and it was just a sea of amazing musicians. You could be walking and you'd hear something, you'd be like, whoa, who's that? And then you find out, oh wow, it's somebody that I've seen on a CD before, but then you put the name with the face, and
they're like all the legends are over there just walking around with everyone.
All in the same place. It's really something else.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And so I want to hear another one of your great songs here. Here's a song by the Saxations called "Don't Worry" right now on Saturday Slow Jams with me, Chorus Nylander. You're gonna love it. Here it is. That was Don't Worry by the Saxations. You're listening to Saturday Slow Jams with me, your pal, Chorus Nylander, keeping it smooth in the studio. And I'm so lucky right now, the Saxations are right here doing an interview with me. Tell us about that song, Don't Worry. That was another one produced by the amazing Paul Brown.
Yeah, that's right. That's one of Stevie Wonder's tunes. That's arranged for us, I believe, by Rick Hirsch. And it's one of our favorites. We have a great solo on soprano from Tomoka, and it's just really
sounded
great.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So where'd you guys meet Paul Brown? How'd that happen?
Actually, it was a referral from Brian Simpson. Brian Simpson used
Brian
him
Simpson.
quite a bit, and so he said, you know what, if you're really serious about putting this album out, you need to get the best, and this is the guy who's the best.
He's definitely the best in jazz.
Yes.
I was just saying when we were playing the song off the air, how you sound, it's like Summer Horns, which he produced, got a Grammy nomination for that.
Yes.
Dave Cause's Summer Horns.
Yes.
Yep.
Amazing tour. So does he still help you out? Does he try and promote the album that's releasing?
Well, he's just still finishing up a few more tracks. I think we have 2 more left to just put it all together and release it, so he's helping us with that.
So when are you expecting it to be released?
September 3rd.
You definitely have to get this album because I'm lucky to have so many of the songs here on my playlist, and I listen to them all, and they sound so good.
Thank
There's
you.
more to come.
Thank you.
I can't wait.
We have Blurred Lines coming up, which is a great
that's
tune
gonna-
on saxophone.
That's going to be
Love Never Felt So Good by Michael Jackson. It's a great tune that got revived. And
I wish you could have sent me those ones, too.
We gotta save something.
All right.
Well, I just love the album so much. Do you have any upcoming live performances that people should check out?
We definitely do. Like we mentioned, our album is coming out on September 3rd, and we're doing a CD release party for that at the Performing Arts Center in Escondido. And we have 2 shows that day, one at 4 o'clock and one at 7 o'clock. So we're really excited. It'll be the 4 of us ladies and our killer rhythm section, and they should be really great.
You good ladies are really defining hot sax.
And then we do have another show that we're working towards, which is November 1st, and that's going to be at 98 Bottles in Little Italy in San Diego. And that one, we are actually doing a tribute to Ella Fitzgerald. So we're going to be playing songs from the Great American Songbook. And
Wow, that would be nice.
yeah, we're very excited.
And 98 Bottles, that venue's really blown up lately. A lot of big name artists and stuff going on there.
Definitely. Yeah, they have some great people coming through.
So what do you see as the future of the Saxations? Where do you guys see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully still playing our hearts out.
I see the Saxation Smooth Jazz Cruise coming up in 10 years.
We are ready.
So,
come on, Michael Lazaroff, call
all
us.
ladies affair.
Yes, please.
And where can people follow you on social media?
Well, we are on Facebook, so you can find us there under the Saxations. We also have a website, saxations.com, and those are probably the 2 best places. We've been working to put together kind of a contact list so that we can share our stuff through email. So if you contact us on either of those, you can send us your email, and we can get you in touch that way. We are also on Reverb Nation. That's kind of recent for us. We're getting some of our tracks posted up there, so you can search for us there.
That's a great site there. And when this album's released once again on September 3rd, make sure to get it. Where can people purchase it?
We're going to have it all over. We'll have it through our website. We'll obviously have it at all of our shows if you're able to come see us live, which we would love. And then we're going to offer it on iTunes, CD Baby, Bandcamp, Reverb Nation. I mean, just anywhere you look, we want to have it for you.
Well, everyone out there better go get that album because it's one you need in your collection. And make sure to go to their shows and have each one of the Saxy ladies from the Saxations write a Saxy autograph right on that CD for you. I want to hear another one of their great songs here before they go. It's called Play It Like You Mean It. It's a cover of a Warren Hill song, which, before we play the song, he must have a big influence on your music. I mean, being at the Warren Hill Sax Summit.
Right. In fact, you were there, of course, and he went over step by step how he put the song together. I mean, it was just so amazing how he just broke it all down. And the sound of this song was just so inspirational. It was one of our first songs we actually got arranged for us, too. So, and then to get it licensed, Allison had to talk to Michael Broughton the other day. Do you want to tell us about that?
Well, I was a little nervous. I mean, Michael is just such an impressive character. Yeah. So I was speaking with him, and they were just so supportive. He had spoken with Warren, and we're so incredibly grateful that they're allowing us to include this on our album. And it's just another sign of support that we just can't say thank you enough.
And have they listened to it and give you their feedback on it?
They haven't yet. So if they're tuning in right now, then hopefully we hear.
Oh, he did hear it on River.
did?
He was one of the first one on Facebook to like that. To like that song. So
fun. I
that's
didn't
cool.
know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm sure they'll only have good things to say about it because I listened to it as we're about to hear it. But it does Warren Hill's song justice.
Great.
It's a very good cover.
Thank you.
And that leads me to another question on this album. Are there any original songs, or mostly covers, or how did you guys compile that?
It's all covers, definitely. We would like to get into some originals. We just need to find the right writer, I think, that's going to know our style and our abilities to write something for us.
Yeah.
Well, you guys definitely did all the covers on this record justice. They all sound amazing. And so we're going to hear Play It Like You Mean It by the Saxations right now on Saturday Slow Jams with me, Chorus Nylander. That was The Chicken by the Saxations. Before that, you heard Play It Like You Mean It. All those songs are going to be on their upcoming debut album, which you have to get. It's self-titled. It's called The Saxations. It's going to be released September 3rd. You're listening to Saturday Slow Jams with me, Chorus Nylander. They're joining me right here in the studio, all the nice ladies of the Saxations. It's been a great interview. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So that song, The Chicken, was the last one we heard there. Tell us about that one before you go.
Well, it's a Jaco Pastorius song, and we've got Tomoka doing the intro, our little Lynette Pickett.
Smoka, right?
Yes. It's one of our favorites, and Kevin Freeby on bass is just absolutely killing it. He's amazing. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great tune. It was very bluesy, kind of almost reminded me of maybe like a Richard Elliott, When a Man Loves a Woman kind of a vibe going on there.
For sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
I think it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's just so
it
fun.
It grooves and it's
Yeah.
just so high energy.
A really great song. And thank you so much. You guys drove, well, at least three of you drove all the way from San Diego. Tomoka lives only like 10 minutes away. But still, thank you. I mean, it was worth it. Thank you so much for coming up here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much. Really
My pleasure, and I
appreciate
can't wait to actually get the physical copy of the album. And I know everyone else out there is going to go buy it. It's released September 3rd, just to let you know. And make sure to go to their website, follow them on Facebook, Reverb Nation. Saxations are awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
It was such a pleasure having them right here on Saturday Slow Jams. I'm Chorus Nylander. Hope you enjoyed the interview there with the Saxations. We're going to keep non-stop smooth R&B rolling for you all the way up till 2:30 in beautiful Los Angeles, California. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Just sit back and relax with your special someone. We have a classic tune right here by Troop with All I Do Is Think of You. Right here on Urban Soul Radio.